in Australia, it's going to be, heck of a season.
Yeah, sure. I'll just stand by. Just to get this race underway, and then love to go. Looked like a bit of a jump start there by 88. Nathaniel, renowned for his great starts. Okay, Scott. Scott Sloan. Yeah, good. And I believe you did some of the Australian Superbike series. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did the first few rounds, and then I had a bit of a break in the middle. I was starting to get a bit burnt out. I'd done a heap of riding, and the results weren't all going my way. So had a few months off and concentrated on the family and work and bits and pieces, and just been back over sort of threw my leg over the bike for the first time again in 4 or 5 months at Phillip Island, and actually had a really good round. The pace that I had was not the greatest, but ended up getting some good results in that, and then we've got Sydney in I think about 2 weeks time. So yeah, so this event this weekend, then we've got the Taupo Endurance, and then Sydney the weekend after. So we've got a stacked calendar from here on out.
I see now. I hear you mention the Taupo Endurance. You've got a good team together for Taupo, have you?
Oh, we've got a solid team, mate. It's I've got James Barham who currently works for me as well. He's doing an apprenticeship with Electrical, and so him and I are going to do the endurance race, and he's done quite a bit of those, and a few of those endurance races, and he does really well. And he's on a 600, and fit, young, fast kid. So he might be able to do the majority of the riding, but no, it will be a good solid team. But it's a 600 and 1,000 team, so it's just laps on track.
Yeah, sure. Okay, now just getting back to the racing here. I'm just waiting for things to come up on the screen. Okay, we have Matthew Dipros in the lead from Matthew Robertson and Des Berghan. Now, that was a name I didn't expect to see up there running in third place, but well done there, Des.
I see a couple of those the Gixxers flying around out there as well, and I think Suzuki sort of twisted our arms, and there's a few of us older Superbike riders and that are going to be doing the Gixxer Cup as well. So I'm just watching my competition out there, because these guys look pretty small, and I reckon they'll be pretty fast.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think you might pay you to pad your backsides, because they're liable to kick backsides, that's for real, some of these boys. And well, actually, a lot of people run them down and say they're too slow, but man, what a class it is for letting these guys learn how to ride motorbikes. So when we look at some of these that are coming through in the 300s and things now, that all started out there, and it's really a learning class, it really is.
Yeah, it's cool to see how the progression comes through in that, and hopefully, in New Zealand we do have quite a few different classes and stuff, but I think they're getting a better structure now and following what they're doing internationally, and there's quite a few bikes now that are available that are, easy and cheap to buy, and we're starting to see that come through. But I've seen guys like Daniel, and then you've got
young Blake Ross.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we sort of started riding at the same time, like Daniel and I, for like road bikes, that is. Yes. And he was on a 150, and I basically went straight to Superbike. But we all sort of end up in a similar place.
Yeah, we'll see Daniel. He started out on the buckets, didn't he, from years ago as well?
Yeah, and guys like Jake Lewis and that, he's done the same thing, and they came through from that. They're doing that endurance race here. The EJC and that in Europe, and both Dan and him came through that program with, and a lot of help from Will Sport and that, which I'm not sure what they're doing these days, but.
Actually, when you're talking about Will Sport and so on, do you want to push any of your sponsors that are helping you out for the?
Yeah, well, fortunately, Suzuki, even with some pretty lackluster results last year, their support for me hasn't wavered. So, maybe I've got another year up my sleeve to prove I can still do what I can do. And obviously, and Fujitsu, they've had big restructures and stuff like that, but they still continue with their support. So, and obviously TSS, Red Baron Motorcycles, and that they're just such a good bunch of guys, and they'll always have my back, no matter if I'm racing or not. Even with my son's go-karting, we get a lot of our stuff from there, so they're fantastic. And, our personal sponsors that, which I actually just had a meeting with them while I was up in Auckland, and, really they're just sort of good friends, almost family now, and they're still encouraging me to keep on doing what I do, and we're going to be doing some international racing in that again next year. So everything's great.
Yeah, I actually follow you on Facebook, and it's great to see you putting up quite a bit there about your young son and his go-kart. It's really good to see that sort of thing going on.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how we, the go-karts for us, it just sort of happened to be that we've got a track closer to us, and that's what it make, and the go-karts are available. And he wasn't that passionate about, dirt bike riding, which is a good lead into road racing. But, for sure, the go-karting is very similar to road racing, apart from the actual leaning and stuff. You use a lot of the same skills. So, and he's sort of expressed interest in, maybe riding around those like little oval things that they ride around the go-kart tracks and that. So, I think with his go-kart experience and that, and that might just switch over to a bit of motorcycle stuff later on in his life. So,
that's great. Right, we're getting back to the getting back to the racing here, and it looks like Nathaniel Dipros is just running away with the field. He's actually running 1:17.9 times compared to the second place of Luca Durning doing 1:20. So he's 3 seconds a lap faster on basically identical bikes.
Yeah, he's had a lot of experience, hasn't he? He's ridden a bit of everything, and on his day, even on 1,000 when he's riding a 600, he's super fast. So I think he was one that came through from the buckets and that too, and did really well there.
Yeah, he's still actually riding buckets. I actually follow the Auckland bucket situation. That we're actually having the problems at Mount Wellington, but we do run at likes of Tokoroa and Whangarei and places like that. And Nathaniel turns up, and he seems to kick it along.
It's a real shame about the whole Mount Wellington thing, and it's hard to get on tracks. And it's nice to see. We've got like a world-class facility here with fans and downs, and not just riding around there in practice. You see how much improvements in that they've made to the track. The track's looking smooth, and they got rid of all the bumps. But obviously that comes at a cost, and the track's popular, so it's always going to be booked out. So really tough to get track time for people.
That's correct, and just. Looking sort of down the tunnel in regards to Mount Wellington, we haven't given up at this stage, and with the latest elections that we've had, there's actually 12 people, what we call the B team, which are right behind motorsport. So we've now got a majority in the Auckland Council supporting motorsport. So, there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. We may be back to Mount Wellington one day.
Well, fingers crossed, and I have to apologise to all the boys that have done such a good job in this race, because I've taken up all your time.
No, it's been great talking to you. Unfortunately, I keep losing the screen here. So anyway, the winner of that was Nathaniel Dipros. Second was Luca Durning, and third was Sean Parker. Thank you very much for coming in and having a talk to us, Sloan, and wish you the best for the rest of the season in the Suzuki Series.
Thanks,
Okay, thank you.